you need money for schooling? Put this picture. Women, teachers, our rights are lost. They put the same exact pictures. They couldn't be bothered to take a picture, another picture to accompany this article. And it goes on throughout. So you can see this picture is something that's been used over and over in their archives. So I started thinking about the issue of repetition in media. And at that point, I had met a very important person during our Little Rock, Arkansas trip when I was with me. I met an actress called Gina Davis. She was actually on a panel discussion with me. And her focus right now is research and the idea of how women are represented in Hollywood media, and specifically to audiences that are children, little girls and little boys. Because children, when they watch movies, they watch it over and over. It's like brainwashing. So she got me started thinking about images that are repeated over and over to the point that they become normal. Then I started looking at a book over here called فقه اللغة العربية, and let me pick it up. So فقه اللغة العربية, I got this also 2 years ago, so this two obsessions started at the same time. This writer wrote this book 1,000 years ago. What he did is he gathered words, Arabic words, in categories. Nobody's ever done this again. He was the only person that's ever done this. And I think because it's a failed exercise, because everybody will say, oh, you forgot this word, but he actually did this. This page is open to the levels of love. So he starts from the lowest level of love to the highest level of love. Now when you read the words one by one, a lot of them you don't remember, you don't recognize. What's this word? I've never heard of it before. And I started thinking about, throughout my childhood, I've been told that Arabic words, because they're linked to the Quran, are alive. They will never die. It's a miracle. But I didn't recognize the words. So I started reading more into the idea of what dies and what stays alive. And there's a writer that it's in Arabic, titled, The Arabic Word is a Living Being. And his conclusion from this book, that a word that is used stays alive. A word that is not used dies. It's an obvious conclusion, but yeah, you needed a writer to put that to you. And then that brings us back to the Quran being alive, is because people continuously read it, and it stays alive, and it stays in context, because people expand their belief through this writing. But what about the words that die? They're in a book, they're archived, so I looked them up, but they have zero meaning to me. This link of repetition and giving it life, and not repeating it and allowing it to die, is a type of disappearance. And I think the image of the Saudi woman, the way it's being repeated today, is what's going to stay alive. And what's not being repeated is going to die. So 50 years from now, you're going to look back, trying to find out, what does the Saudi woman look like? And this is what you will find. And this is not reality. This has gone through a filter. So let's go to the artworks. I'll walk you through, I think maybe this one, because it's a photograph that I pulled out of that display over there. So I used the levels of happiness. And why did I choose happiness? Actually, the 4 words that I used are the 4 categories: happiness, courage, intelligence, and love. These are 4 types of descriptions you usually describe women. I superimposed it on these images. There's a contradiction. Do you see happiness in this image? Do you see courage in that image? Do you see intelligence? And that contradiction is the energy that I want to highlight between what images are being preserved and the disappearance of the image that I want to accept.